flipped it in a double. Started out with half and I flipped it in a double.
Said time again, we gotta go. Take one, then I dash away from Popo.
Yeah.
Snakes around my grass, they want my dodo. But I keep a 40, they don't know, no. Got the Henny, you get cold. Smoke on Reggie, that's a no-no. Driving slow-mo in the photo. Bitches ready for the photos.
Ooh. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. Welcome back to the show. Today we got Jomel from Bankrupt Society, one of the founders. So, if you don't mind, let us know about your ride.
It's an Audi S3.
Yep.
It's actually stage 2, so
Gonna be a bit of fun today.
a bit of fun, yeah. So it's tuned to stage 2. Done a few mods, not so much, a lot of bolt-ons. It is still a family car, so
Family car with a stage 2. Yep.
Yeah,
Totally makes
well,
sense, right?
well, as you can see, it's still kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I haven't done any crazy modifications outside to make it look like a full show car,
Yeah.
but I've done the little bits and pieces just to make it a little bit cleaner. So yeah.
No, that sounds good. Otherwise, look, let's go for a drive.
All right, let's do it. Oh, we just got to pull out of here though.
Yeah. There's a problem. Have you had this lowered at all?
No, I
Nah,
haven't.
it's still on stock suspension.
Purposely. So on purpose. There's a few things and a few reasons why I haven't lowered it. Even though this is a family car and it is a daily,
Yeah.
we have added parts of the modification to it,
Yeah.
so it is track ready.
Whoa.
So once I get some free time,
Yeah.
I am planning on taking this to the track, probably in the next month.
All right, I feel like that's an invitation right there.
Oh, 100%. Come down and take photos, take videos.
Yeah, man.
Jump in if we have some time.
Yeah, 100%. So like with the modifications you've done to this, so I know like with the S3, if memory serves me correct, what they're about 213 kilowatts roughly, and what 0 to 100 in about 4.6. So with the power you've added, have you dynoed it or tried to push to see against a stock S3 to see where it sits now?
I don't really know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Right, because I want to dyno it and I
Yeah.
just haven't had a chance.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I,
fair
and
enough.
I don't want to tell numbers because until
Yeah.
we know what the numbers are.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I can say is the mechanics, when they did do a test using a draggy, just the ones that strap onto your window, they
Yeah.
were saying they were getting 3.7 to the 100.
So basically you've been nipping at supercars at this rate?
Yeah, yeah. And that's at stage 2. The stage 2 didn't really bring too much power difference from the
Yeah.
stage 1, because I think stage 1 I was still producing 3.7.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I think, I don't know yet, but I'm wanting to know, like down in the quarter mile,
What the actual
what
change
the
would
actual
be.
changes
Yeah.
be, because we know that at the stage 2 a lot of the power comes from the middle, and I do know when I jump on the accelerator
Yeah.
at 100 kilometers,
Yeah.
it rises really quick.
So it's got like that sort of that torque in the mid-range
Yeah,
upwards.
so that's where you really see the stage 2 come out
Interesting.
from the stage 1, which is crazy because if you think about it, just a chip tune makes these cars that much quicker.
This is where like I start thinking to myself, like, then what's the point of the RS3 then in that case if you can put this much power on this engine itself?
Well, that's the crazy thing, right? So you chip tune these cars and they get that much quicker.
Yeah.
You do the same tune on an RS3 and they get even quicker.
Yeah, far out. I think I must say, like, this is one of those cars which I feel like it's underappreciated, especially like with the S3. A lot of people, I feel like they tend not to look at them as being much of a contender for like power gains, but I think just like I remember riding right behind your car when I was in Sean's car beforehand, and I was
Yeah.
just looking at it, I was like, this thing is like, it looks fast, man.
Oh yeah. Look, no doubt that they are quick.
Yeah.
No doubt that they are quick, and it's crazy just cause just because the older brother,
Yeah.
the RS3,
Yep.
is that much quicker,
Makes sense.
people forget about this car. Now, the RS3 is a monster car. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, I should just bought one.
So like when you were looking at, I guess, different cars anyway, so I'm assuming you went through a few different decisions before you came to, I guess, getting this one. Like, what did you go for, like, beforehand? Did you look at, like, you know, A classes, the 1 Series?
So it did take me about a year to figure out
Yeah.
a car and buy a car.
Yeah.
I was ready, but it took me about a year.
Yeah.
Mainly because I was actually tossing up between this and a Mustang.
Oh, what? Really?
Right, so a bit different.
Yeah.
The Mustang, well, I've owned quite a lot of cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably around maybe 12 to 13 cars in
Man,
my
you've
lifetime.
been busy.
And I've always driven manual.
Fair enough. So switching from manual to this would have been...
And I was very reluctant to switch to an automatic.
Fair enough.
Just because I just didn't think I'd enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kept getting into Mustangs and they're amazing. V8.
Yeah.
They look nice.
Yeah.
But everyone has them.
True, they actually become relatively too common. Even
Yeah.
like ACT, I feel like there's no day that goes past where you don't see a Mustang.
Oh yeah, exactly right. And they're way too common. And so
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, do I want one? They do look nice and they sound nice.
Yeah.
And they're manual.
Yeah.
But then I thought, in my history, all the cars I've driven have been like either rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I had one all-wheel drive, which was a Bug-Eye WRX. Amazing. Always shattered my back driving that car. Sounded nice.
Yeah.
You know, I like that car, but I didn't really drive that. I was more of a city car, so I didn't
Fair
actually
enough.
do any mods to it.
Yeah.
I actually just kept that as it is. So it was good, but I didn't really test the proper four-wheel drive. So I thought, let's give it a go with this car.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
let's give the Quattro, and I tell you now, I don't regret it. This thing is a monster around corners. Rain, doesn't matter.
Yep. I feel like it's one of those like perfect dailies where it's ready no matter what the situation is.
Oh yeah, exactly right. And Audi's done such a good job with that. And that's why I steered my direction to this instead. I was actually looking at the RS3, but at the time of the market,
Yeah.
this came in and there was such a good deal for this car in terms of the price. I couldn't say no. And I offered it and bam, got it.
That's awesome, man. Like, I
Yeah.
always find it quite interesting when it comes to, like, with the S3. Like, I remember having a look at it in the past, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, that would actually be the perfect baby, you know, baby supercar killer, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much, you can, as you're saying, you can tune it to get that RS3 power out of it,
Yeah.
get that RS3 traction out of a dig, and at the same time, you can still be like, you know what, relax, have a baby seat in the back, just relax and, you know, just take it on a nice cruise and not have to worry about, you know, supercar maintenance, basically.
100% agree. And I think that's what drove me to this one. Because the RS3 is amazing.
Yeah.
But it is a bit sporty in terms of the noise.
Yeah.
And everything. And you know when you see an RS3 and you see one driving, you know there's one around. And you do still the same with S3s. But the thing I love about this is I can be giving it a bit of a, a squirt. And then just put it in eco mode and
Yep. You just,
blend back into the traffic.
it's like you're like Jekyll and Hyde kind of situation. One moment it's like nice and docile, and then the next moment it's like, yep, I could kill you, but
Yeah.
you know, you got a Quattro, I got your back.
Exactly right, exactly right.
That's heaps good, man.
So yeah, it's gonna be my daily for a while, I
For a while,
reckon. I am planning on a second car or another car.
Yeah.
Something a bit more wild, but
Would you reckon you'd ever go into sort of that project car kind of space in the sense that like build something up, or
so my last car. The reason why I also bought an Audi, I wanted a reliable car. So my last car
yeah,
before the Audi, actually I had a Corolla before this.
yeah,
On the reason because before the Corolla, I owned a Series 5 RX-7.
oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Alright, so a Series 5 RX-7.
Yeah.
I've had it rebuilt 3 times because I blew the engine twice. for all of you guys out there that know, it had a T51R turbo, so that's a 1,000 horsepower turbo. It was pretty much fully built, and I built it for drifting.
Fair enough. Well, at least it was a car with a purpose then, in that case, you know?
Yeah, I built it for drifting. It was an amazing car, but as you guys know, and this was about maybe 5-6 years ago, the rotary engines were great, but they're not as durable as they are now, because they kind of figured out the seals now. But back then, it just kept blowing up. Especially, I think it had something to do with my turbo as well.
Nah, look, 1,000 horsepower turbo, like, it's not much of a big deal, you know? You kind of just have a situation where, you know, you strap on a big turbo to an engine. Yeah, it'll work. Doesn't matter. If it breaks, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly right. But it was an amazing car. On the track, it was a monster. Yeah. Unbearable to drive in the city. It had a brass button clutch, so it was either on or off. And super wide tires, so it was really hard to park. So after maintaining that car, that's like maintaining a supercar kind of cost. I decided I just don't want a headache, so I bought a Corolla.
Fair enough. Well, that'll be a very different transition from something with a lot of power, not necessarily as reliable, but obviously fun when it works, to a Corolla, which is going to be reliable, but
the most boring car. But tell you what, it was actually one of the cars that I've ever been able to drive the quickest.
Wow.
Because I didn't care.
Fair enough.
It was manual, I didn't care, and it was like, I was able to enter corners without a worry. And I was able to enter the corners at 100%.
I must say, like, this is something that I've actually had in the back of my mind, whereby I think to myself, well, yes, having a really powerful car, which is capable, it's fun and all, but the fact that you can't actually enjoy it as much as you can, I think that's always a problem. Like, I remember when I used to have a FG FPVU, and that had about maybe 400 kilowatts to the wheels. Yeah. And, you know, on a good day, you meaning like it's dry, literally there's no moisture anywhere. It's an amazing car to use, an amazing car to own. And it was still dicey even at speed with that particular car. But when I sold it and I switched over to a 120 kilowatt BMW 120i, that thing, the funnest car I ever owned, I would say the best car I ever owned, not as reliable, but the fact that I could get the most out of it. So going to Bateman's Bay, I could go and weave around, like, you know, the roads there. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm still not breaking the law. I was like, this is what a perfect sort of fun car is meant to be. Yeah. And that's why the Corolla would be like I'm going to call it my go-to, but it didn't even have to have oil in the engine. It could so go. It didn't matter, you know. And it had the old handbrake. Yeah. I didn't care about it, and it was such a great car, just because, you know, I can go around a corner and be like, yeah, sure, handbrake. Yeah, look, if it doesn't snap, it's still good. Exactly, and it was just such a good car. Clutch never blew up on it either. It's an all-around great car, but it did like a lot of stuff. Yeah. You know, unlike these Audis these days, they have everything here. It's true. It's like a spaceship in here. You guys can't see, but it has the G-force. I can turn on the sports displays. Yeah. Have lap times and statistics and the engine data all, you know, in the cockpit, which is awesome. Man, I must say, like, with cars these days, like, the amount of technology they've been able to, like, push into, like, their cars now, it's like, I was thinking to myself, well, what happens when you end up having electrical gremlins? But they've made sure, you know, as time goes, that it wouldn't get to that point. Yeah. Like, your car's still gonna function no matter what. Oh yeah, exactly right. And they've done quite a good job, but exactly right. Electrical gremlins is like a nightmare for these things, because these things have hundreds and hundreds of sensors. Yeah. Where when I was building my RX-7, I keep going back to this, I think it had like one sensor. That's it. It's like you plug it in, it works. Done. Yeah, exactly right. Oh man. But yeah, it's nothing like this. This is, as you said, I can't actually drive this legally on the road. Yeah.
it properly. And then I think, how do people drive RS3s?
True. I mean, like, this is where I think, to an extent, whether or not, if we ever get to a point where Australia does update their road rules, because, yeah, fair and fine, 110 kilometers based upon, based upon the fauna of, that we have in Australia, having roos that jump out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It makes sense having that speed limit, but at the same time, I think to myself, I'm just like, cars are now fitted with better brakes, they've got better management of their traction, so, from start to stop, you can stop a bit quicker than, cars in the 80s anyway.
Sure, and I have that, debate in my head quite often. I think cars are so much better.
Yeah.
This car drives itself when I go to Sydney.
Yeah.
Surely I can go more than 110.
Yeah, and most of our roads going to, from Canberra to Sydney at least, they're pretty much straight anyway.
Yeah.
At least most spaces are straight.
Like,
But
right, yeah, in the city I can understand.
Yeah.
People jump out at you. People are silly, they run up. City speeds, yeah, I can agree with.
Yeah.
But you're right, on the highway, mate, 110 is too slow. Especially in a car like this.
Yeah, true.
And that's why I've built this one for track.
Yeah.
Well, with the purpose to track it, because that way, that's when I can really see how it goes. Because telling you now, this one at like 180, 190 feels like nothing.
Yeah, true.
Comparative to my older cars, if I exceeded 120,
Start getting that twitch.
getting it. Steering wheel shakes.
Yeah.
You get all sorts of shakes, but this, I don't know, it becomes smoother at a higher speed.
I guess like it hunkers down a bit more in that situation. I know like when looking back to when I had my FPV, like I remember taking it to Snowy 1000, and there's a point in time where I think I was reaching about maybe 170, 180. The car, I could still feel like it still had a bit of go, but the problem that was there was the front started becoming light because all the air just lifts up the front, and you're just like, nah, I can't. I'm just like, back off.
Yeah, these cars are a bit different.
Yeah.
It's just the modernization of cars.
Yeah, man. This is crazy nowadays. But you know what? It's it's progress. I'm just a bit saddened that with the introduction of particulate filters now in the EU, they're making these cars sound a bit quieter, which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, when I'm hearing this right now, even from the from the interior, it sounds good.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it sounds like outside.
So we'll give it a squirt when we go up here.
Yeah, 100%, man.
We can, because it's a bit legal here.
At least you got the tunnel.
Exactly. We can go to the tunnel and then. So there.
Oh, that is good, man. Dude, that is definitely on point, man.
It's a little.
And that's stage 2, man.
Yeah, that's stage.
Far out. in the back.
Yep.
Far out, man. So is this still running the stock exhaust, or did you get that changed as well?
So funny story about that.
Yeah.
So from the engine bay,
Yeah.
I do have a downpipe. There's a high flow downpipe,
yeah.
and I do have a res delete on this car.
Yeah.
Just to give it a bit more noise. The downpipe acts a lot more in terms of the performance for the stage 2, but the center delete just is a little bit more noise. I went and got fabricated from Powertone a rear exhaust, and there were always concerns because it is a stage 2 car and it's already loud.
Yeah.
And it already does pops and bangs.
Yeah.
Which we'll show you when we get a bit later.
Yeah.
That there was concerns that it was just going to be too loud, and everyone says these cars get too loud.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go anyway.
Yeah. Why not?
I'm the type of guy who's like, you'll never know until you try.
Yeah.
And every car's a bit different. So I went to Powertone, got something fabricated. We installed it on Wednesday. It lasted on my car for less than 12 hours.
Was it that loud?
It was. So I drove it onto the highway and I gave it a few hits, and I got out and my ears were ringing.
Oh, what?
My ears were ringing, and when I, driving this car, I can put it in eco mode and it'll be quiet.
Yeah.
It'll be nice. But with the exhaust, I was only able to drive it in eco mode.
Oh, wow. Because otherwise, like, obviously it opens up the valves when it's on, like, sport mode after.
Yeah. And then it would tell half of the city that I'm driving my car. And then so I thought, let's give a go at the pops and bangs to see how it goes. And I kid you not, I swear flames came out.
Oh, man.
And I was like, well, this would be awesome if it was my weekend car.
Yeah, makes sense.
This would be fantastic. But I could not keep it on because A, I still work a professional job and rocking up to a client, with a car like that.
That is how you sink a deal, right?
They'll know I'm coming. So I was like, well, sorry guys, awesome exhaust, but we have to pull it off straight away.
Oh, look, you did the logical thing at the end of the day. Because I think to myself, like, having an exhaust, it's awesome when it's loud and all that, pops, bangs, does everything, but the difference is if it's a daily and you need to live with this on a day-to-day, it just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly right. And I was like, if I'm going to drive to Sydney...
Oh, yeah, because, you have the situation of, like, one drone is going to be a big issue. Like, I mean, fair and fine, I think one system that I nearly got on my ute was a sort of like a Varick system on, like, my exhaust. So at least, if you have that where, one moment you can have it. One moment you can have it, but the next moment you can kind of like, press a button
and then it's quiet.
Then, fair and fine. But if it's like, you're just, having it as sort of the one thing, have as an exhaust that actually makes sense. You don't want to go too loud. You want to have it a bit throaty, but not too much.
Exactly. And that's why I had to go back to the stock.
Makes sense. But it still, like, sounds really good, though. Like, because at the end of the day, like, even when we're inside, when you're driving, normally anyway, it's not too loud. It doesn't feel, you can have a bit of an inkling that there's a bit of power behind it, but it's nice.
Exactly. And that's what I was like, you know what? And plus, stock from the factory, they still make pretty good exhaust.
That's true. That's very true.
I was a bit upset that I wasn't able to have a louder car, but at the same time, I'm like, compromise.
And I must say, like, I keep on hearing, like, your blow off. Is there a blow off valve that you have in there?
No, that's something that's a bit different in this car. So when we went stage 1, we put an intake. Now, everyone that buys European cars, especially your Golf Rs and your Audis, everyone goes APR. So I am running APR maps, but everyone also goes APR hardware.
True. Just to make it easier, basically.
And generally, APR had made really good stuff. But because everyone had that, I thought maybe do something different. So instead, I'm actually running integrated engineering intake, turbo elbow, and an integrated engineering downpipe with APR maps in this car.
Interesting.
Which has made it ever so slightly unique comparative to every other car I've seen in Canberra. Because of the I'm guessing I don't actually have a blower valve in this car. Everyone thinks I have it.
Sounds because like when it sounds like you can get a bit of a whistle, then it's got a bit of a flutter at the end of the day as well.
There's dosing, and it sounds like an old VL turbo with a blower valve. I kid you not.
Yeah.
No blower valve.
Wow.
Nothing. Just an intake in this car, and
That's pretty cool. Like considering like because like it's because when I first got in and I was hearing, I was just like, it's because it like genuinely like it sounds like as if you've got like a
blower valve. Yeah.
But wow, that's straight intake noise. Wow.
It's straight intake noise, and turbo. What do they call it again? I can't remember right now, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure people in the comment below will be like, it's this.
Yeah,
And they'll type it in, so it's all good.
Right.
Got you. Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
That's heaps good, man. Like, I think it's one of those things, I think building your car and making it super unique at the same time, it's pretty hard nowadays anyway, but,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad, like, you put your own sort of footprint on, on this car, and at the end of the day, like, we'll spice in some of the exterior features as well, but your grille, I remember when you did the upgrade just to your grille, I was just like, it looks the part. I think S3 should have just come up with that grille from the get-go.
I agree, and it's a bit tough, right? Because the RS3s come from the factory with these grills.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's always this debate, and me and one of the other owners in Canberra, or one of the guys from Bankrupt with the other S3, were like, I want the grill, but I don't want to be looking like I'm trying to be an RS3.
True, yeah, the stigma against that.
I should have just bought it.
Yeah.
So I was always like, well, I actually didn't hate the last grill, but what I did hate was, and I've recently got into photography and doing a lot more media, and when I realized that I was sitting hours and hours editing out my number plate,
Yep.
I was like, nah,
I can't do this.
I can't do this. So I did go look for options
Yeah.
on my grills, and what's crazy is because no one really wants an aftermarket
True.
S3 grill,
Yep.
they don't make them. So the only option was to get one from the US, because the US doesn't have the plate there.
Yeah, true. Because with some states they don't necessarily need you to run front plates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that was the option, but it was $880
And then that's before shipping.
and conversion. I was like, oh wow, okay, great. The 4 ring taxes on that, and I was like, well, it's not worth it for me.
Yeah, true.
It's not worth it for me. So, but then I was online, and someone from Queensland, awesome dealer for RS grills. If you guys want some,
Yeah.
just question in the comments below, I reckon.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh yeah, I've got RS grills for $400.
Oh wow.
So I was like, well, that's way better than $800.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And yes, it's not OEM quality. Don't get me wrong, but
It's good enough. Like I mean, like when we look at the outside as well, like it looks pretty awesome because like even when you walk up to it, it looks the part.
it gives it such a different look and feel to the car. I 100% agree. So I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to be an RS. I just want my editing in post to be less, and I want that little change, so I'm going to change it.
Do you think a photography page made you change your whole car?
So I changed it, yeah.
Well, I feel like to an extent, I'm like, would it not have been easier to just like get someone just edit that stuff out? But nah, I'm gonna go full out, get a new grill instead. Screw it.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
with the new grill, I can take the plate off.
Makes it easier. Yeah,
Every
true.
time I want to take it off instead of just having to edit it. And plus, no joke,
Yeah.
I don't know why we have the laws of having a front plate on there, because whatever they made from the factory, that was ugly. That was disgusting. Like the grill itself was great, but where it was holding the
placement,
plate,
yep.
it was just disgusting. Even if you took the plate off,
Yeah.
it just had this gigantic square plastic
That's
thing there.
that's sitting there. Yeah, because I noticed like even with the like the current is it what the Mach 5 Super as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the issue that's there is like where some of the placements that you see, it's either like right on the side, or where I'm thinking to myself, aerodynamically that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a bit of like flat space that's just gonna make it a little bit slower.
Yeah, and it's just like aesthetically, like, why is it there?
Well,
Why is it there?
I think until we get to a point where we've got like electronic plates that like ping off of anything, like if you're going to, well, essentially they're afraid that like if you're going too fast and we can't catch you and know who it is,
Yeah.
we need that front plate. But I'm like,
Come on, technology is getting better.
Come on.
Give us electronical plates.
yeah, exactly. just have a little ping radar. But then there's always going to be that one person who's going to hack it and make it someone else's car, and then you're like, yeah.
100%.
Like, next thing you know, Jomel's getting like tickets in, Queensland, or he's in ACT all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But we are getting smarter with IT, because I do work in IT, and there is ways to do that. Don't really know, but I'm sure one day.
Oh, it's bound to happen.
Sure, one day.
Yeah.
Biometrics, you're driving your car, I don't know, that could be a thing.
That could be a thing, true.
No plates, the license plates registered to your face.
Yeah, I mean, look, cars look so much nicer though. Like just the fronts of cars.
Yeah, like look at all the Lamborghinis and stuff. They don't have it.
They don't need
Lamborghini supercars don't have it. They just don't have it.
Yeah. So you being the founder of Bankrupt, or one of the founders of Bankrupt Society, like what was your goal in terms of creating the ultimate, I guess, car club in ACT? Because we have a lot of car clubs around, but it's always everyone caters for a different niche. Like what was your pitch for it anyway?
So it wasn't intentional really. It all started when I bought this Audi.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the German Auto Day, and that's when I met almost everyone that's in Bankrupt Society.
Yeah.
It actually was a lot of people from the Audi Canberra Club on Facebook. And so we went there and got to meet a few people. That's when I met Sean, Ron, Anthony. It was a great day. And then I was like, oh, we're doing some meets and stuff. And eventually we just started doing some meets.
That's good, man.
And then after a few months, we realized that we're just doing meets. And we were like, oh yeah. And then what actually triggered us was a few events were coming up, and they were like, oh yeah, bring your club. And we were all like, we should just go as a club. But it'd be boring to go there as Audi Canberra.
You're representing the dealership, Audi.
Exactly, right?
True.
And plus, we weren't all just Audis.
Yeah, true. Because you respect V-dubs as well.
Yeah, and we have mates in different places, and we don't discriminate. So we're like, oh yeah, let's make our own crew just for keepsake, just to do it. Yeah. So we went through a few name changes. We did start off with a very okay name, but I'm so glad we changed it. We went from Capital Division.
Oh, repping Canberra, nice.
Yeah, but we're like,
does it really represent us?
It doesn't have the scalability.
Yeah, fair enough.
And we're just like, all right, well, we were just talking about it, and then one day someone was like, man, I spent so much money on my car. And then I was like, yeah, it's almost like we're a bankrupt society. And then one of the guys was just like, that is a dope name. That is the name that we should be. So me and Sean then went through changing all our group stuff to Bankrupt Society.
It's pretty cool. Like, I mean, like, even like stuff like, even the way that you branded your stuff as well, like in terms of your jumpers and also like just your logo, and it's super unique.
Yeah. Well, really cool. It started off with one of our other founders, Anthony Darcy.
Yeah.
So me and him are a big Culture Kings fan.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, who isn't?
So a lot of apparel that we wear on a day-to-day basis is from Culture Kings.
Yeah.
So if I'm not in a suit or in sportswear, I'm in Culture Kings clothes. So we've always had the idea. It's like, man, it'd be cool to have a brand in Culture Kings one day. And I think if you're listening, Culture Kings, look at our stuff.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. Or buy our stuff. But yeah, it was really, we just like that kind of urban look.
Yeah.
And a lot of the car clubs out there had merch, and it was very racing.
Yeah, true. Because like you have like they take certain car parts from certain cars and stuff, and then they just put it on a jumper and then
and they're very racing thing. And we're like, but we all drive Euros, or like a bit more luxurious type cars, not super cars. Not yet. We're on our way one day. But we had a lot of like luxurious types of cars. And we're like, okay, well, let's make a little more premium type range without modes. So that's how we ended up with this.
It's really cool, man. Like, I think it's a really cool like sort of origin story, because at the end of the day, we all love cars. We all have like-minded people who enjoy aspects of cars. So why not create a club where everyone is involved, and everyone at the end of the day just enjoys sort of being part of that car culture as well.
Yeah.
And especially with Canberra, I was in the last episode when I was talking to Sean, I was just like we are kind of forced to kind of hang out with each other because of how small the the city is anyway.
Yeah.
And it means that like as a collection, we're trying represent our own factions within this small city.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we still, come together, and the big shows and the big picture of it
Bigger
all.
community, yeah. Actually, talking about the brand, I do have something for you today.
Yeah.
So I got you a
Hey.
Bankrupt Society air freshener.
Awesome, man. I'm gonna be repping this in the car.
Sticker for your car.
Yeah, man.
And I did also bring you a t-shirt.
Oh, dude, awesome. Hey. I feel like I'm already part of the crew now. That's heaps good, man. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Look, I'll
dude.
definitely be repping this, that's for sure. I think once basically I'm gonna get my merch up, I'm gonna be sending it your way. That's Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No, all good.
Oh, dude, I guess I'm gonna be doing a wardrobe change later. That's heaps good. Thanks, man.
No worries.
I reckon, what's the time? Our appointment at Elemental is at 11, so we got, 5 minutes. So, you know what?
We'll head back.
Head back.
Start driving back now.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Cause this shit is real. Cause this shit is real. Hey. Cause this shit is real. Cause this shit is real.